This example is going to start us off with a function here. F of x equals x to the third plus 4x. And they want to know for what value of x inside this specific closed interval here, x equals 2 and x equals 5, does the instantaneous rate of change, that is fancy math talk for derivative, equal the average rate of change on the interval they gave us. An average rate of change is just fancy math talk for slope as we've always known it. So what this problem is really saying to us is when will our derivative, our instantaneous rate of change, equal our average rate of change, which is just our standard slope setup, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, pick your battle, whichever one you want to go after first, whether we want to find the derivative first or whether we want to find the average rate of change first. So, I'm going to go ahead and just find the derivative equation. It'll take us 2 seconds. So, we have our original function was given to us here. F of x equals x cubed plus 4x. To find our derivative, we're just going to use our power rule. The power rule says bring the power down, subtract 1 from the power. So this would be 3x, subtracting 1 from the power would get us an x squared. Then we have an unwritten 1 on this x. We bring that down. 1 times 4 gets us 4, and then technically subtracting 1 from the power would get us x to the 0. But anything to the 0 power is just 1, so we don't need that there. We don't need 4 times 1. So there's our left-hand side of our equals. And now let's go find out what our average rate of change is. Well, our x1 and our x2 values are given to us right here. They tell us x1 is 2 and x2 is 5. And what we need to do is we need to go find the y1 value, the value that goes with that, and the y2 value, the value that goes with 5. And to do that, we will use the original equation they gave us. So we know that f of x equals x to the third plus 4x. So to find y1, we'll start by plugging in 2 to that equation. So f of 2 equals 2 to the third plus 4 times 2. So then out of there, 2 to the third is 8, and then 4 times 2 is 8, and so 8 plus 8 is 16. So y1 is 16. We'll do the same thing with 5 now. So f of 5, plug in 5 into this equation. We get 5 to the third plus 4 times 5. Well, 5 to the third, 5 times 5 is 25, times another 5 gets us 125 plus 4 times 5 is 20. And so out of there we get 145, and that's going to be our y2. And now to find our average rate of change, our AROC, we're going to go ahead and just pop it into our standard slope formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we get 145 minus 16 over 5 minus 2. So 145 minus 16 is going to get us 129. And then divided by 5 minus 2 is 3. And then we can go ahead and divide that. You can always quickly tell, this is one of those little math tricks, you can always quickly tell if a number is evenly divisible by 3 if you add up its integers and if that number is divisible by 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 9, that's 12. 12 is divisible by 3, so that means 129 is divisible by 3. So 129 divided by 3 would be 43. So our average rate of change is 43. And now what we want to know, right, this problem just wants to know when will our instantaneous rate of change equal our average rate of change. And so you just take and set those two equations equal to each other. So we'll take our instantaneous rate of change, and we want to know when does that equal the average rate of change that we just got out. And now we've solved that little algebra problem and we're done. So minus 4, we get 3x squared equals 43 minus 4 would get us 39. And then we would divide by 3. We end up with x squared equals 39 divided by 3 is 13. And then from there, you would square root both sides of this. When you apply a square root, you technically get plus or minus that square root. So really what we're looking at here would be two options. X equals negative root 13 and x equals positive root 13. Well, remember that this has to live inside the interval they gave us from 2 to 5. A negative number does not live inside there. Root 13 does live inside that interval. So then our answer is x equals the square root of 13. That would be option C. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please click that like button and subscribe. And also share it with your friends and anyone else you know who might be crying about an upcoming AP Calc test. You can find more videos from me, more sample AP Calc questions, and my complete AP Calc study guide over at my website, apcalcprep.com. Have a great one.